I was like, not really going to go live, but I am now. So I don't think that you guys have really like seen a lot from us in August. Right now, we brought you that Leo video for Leo season, which was called Focus. Well, this bitch right here accidentally took that shit down. So we might do another one. But it was really good. What it was really talking about is like really zoning in on like what it is that you hold, that the power that you hold that allows you to create for yourself in a dynamic way, in a very magnetic way, and in a way that also generates a lot of energy around you and for the people that experience you. So that was really what that reading was about. There was a lot of fire in that reading, and there were a lot of major arcana cards in that reading. You know, you had the Emperor, you had the Knight of Wands, then you had the Judgment card, you had the Magician card, you had the Ace of Swords card. There was just a lot of really powerful, strong energy in that reading. And it was good. You know, it's just talking about getting your ass out there and doing it. So this is a love reading for the water signs. You know, I already did the air sign reading. And now I'm going to go ahead and give you the water sign reading. I'm Kendrick, and I thought about it. I might start going by my full first name again, which is La Kendrick. That's Dale. He's texting me. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to meet up with him later, so I might end up going to where he lives now. So yeah, water signs. What's going on with you? As far as Cancer goes, I would probably say that there's a lot going on as far as like the home and love inside the home. So when I say love inside the home, I'm talking about love inside your home, love inside you. What's the love that you know that you have for yourself? How does that carry you through? How do you rely on yourself emotionally, Cancer? And how do you rely on other people? Because how you rely on other people is very different than how they rely on you, right? We know that Cancer really is very receptive. All the water signs are very receptive, but Cancer is that cardinal water. So it's like the initiative to allow a space for feelings to take shape. You know, Mercury and Cancer, Three of Cups, and then, you know, existing within that to bring about more trust, more understanding, more reasons to want to compromise so that you can discover new things. You know what I mean? The cardinal signs want to discover. Um, and then when we go into Scorpio, baby, you've been going through a lot. Hi, Jasmine. Scorpio, you've been going through a lot. I know you have. There's been a lot of fixed energy going on with the planets, you know, with Jupiter being in your sign. And then we've got Mars in Aquarius. We just had that full blood moon lunar eclipse in Aquarius. Let's see. Greetings from Phoenix, Team Scorpio. Yes. So, you know, and then Uranus is in Taurus asking us to do things differently, very differently than we always really have. You know, this is as a people, as a society. And, you know, Scorpio does want everyone get together well. You know what I mean? I feel like that Scorpio energy is very deep and it's a very connective one. And it's on a soul level. When I think about what Pisces has been going through a lot as far as like relationships that they have. It's like the close relationships that Pisces has with people, those relationships are really being tested, right? They're being squeezed, they're being extracted to see like what the essence of that relationship is, and do we like the smell, do we like the sensation of that essence, or is it something that needs to be changed in some kind of way, you know, maybe, I don't know, we need to be reconsidering things. Cancer confused about Scorpio. Okay, You're confused about Scorpio. Maybe it's because Scorpio is going through some very transformative energy right now. Jupiter was retrograde in Scorpio, and now it's gone direct. And once it went direct, all this stuff started to happen. We have a lot of other planets that are retrograde too. Neptune is retrograde in Pisces, you know? So that's something that we also want to consider. All of the illusions and the dissolving of the boundaries and the imaginative efforts that you've placed on things, like you put so much energy into things that were just, you know, ways of being that you were so sensationalized by, but they may not be working for you anymore. You know what I mean? It's fun to be in a place where you feel like everything is just very magical, but if there's no substance there, and if there is nothing to support the magic, because magic is really it's air. If there's nothing there to really support the magic of that, then you know you might lose it. So let's go ahead and get started with you guys' reading. I'm going to cut the deck into 3 little stacks here. And then I'm going to give you a pyramid reading because that's going to give me a little bit more. And if something jumps out to me as far as like a water card, and if it has like an astrological attribution, then I'm going to come out with that and give you guys a little bit more information. So I might try to keep this reading at 30 minutes. Right now we're about at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't know why I'm saying that. That's just what's going on. I'm sorry that you guys can't see the spread. It's a little bit different than setup than I've been used to. This setup is gonna change soon, so you guys, I've been going through a lot of stuff. So if you could just like send me some really good vibes out there, pray for me, do all that you can, cause like your brother is going through it. Ha 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 ha, my life path is 34. 33, that's my number. I was saying 33 a lot before I started doing this. And then I found those tarot cards. So let's go ahead and start with what you're rising to. Right. Okay. So a lot of you are thinking about ways of expanding your material gain as far as like your relationships go. Maybe that's in a sense of like who you are actually bringing around you. Yeah? Because people who are in your immediate vicinity are going to affect you emotionally, right? So they're going to get into that space of love. It's like how you choose to love yourself in the face of adversity and in those hard times. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Um, I'll just read to you what the card says at the bottom of the deck for you guys, okay? Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. It's important to have balance. Working multiple jobs or projects at once, making work fun. Okay, so what this is suggesting is that, there's always going to be some sort of like emotional upsetting in your life, right? Experience that. We can keep those things constant that allow us to stay anchored and make us feel productive and make us feel valuable within a setting that we like to go back to, then those things are actually really, really important for us in terms of how we feel about ourselves. And then how we feel about ourselves is going to affect us psychologically and how we feel about other people who we might bring ourselves around. Because those people are going to be affected by our mental state and our emotional state. Yes, so they're mirrors. They're going to show us what we actually need to be. Okay, all right, divine evolution, I got you. I got you. I'm gonna have to look back at the video so I can clock that. But I think it was pretty clear. At the top of the reading, you guys are actually not even really trying to be in anything really that serious. You want to be able to provide for yourselves, and you want to be able to be that rock for you, right? Because if you can be that rock for you, then you can definitely be that rock for someone else. Now, a lot of us have probably been in relationships where like there might have been an imbalance of like material things, and that kind of gets in the way of the development of a relationship, right? But for those of us who are mature enough to know that there probably is always going to be like an ebb and flow and a little bit of a balance and an imbalance, then things can always be worked out so that, the structure maintains and the the firmness maintains itself. Yes, it doesn't have to always seem like it's lopsided. You know, I'm a Libra sun and Libra rising, and I have Pluto in Libra, and I also have Saturn in my first house, which is at the very top of my first house. So I think I'm ruled by Saturn. Also Venus, though. So this is talking about being that powerful, accomplished, successful, stable person for yourself, right? You are the one who is actually going to be able to maintain that sense of love for you. And it's about how you go about your day every single day, right? We know that we get sort of like, we get a little bit tripped up as the day goes along, and we might experience some things that are unfortunate. But that does not mean that you have to throw a pity party for yourself or feel like, you have to just like sit down and throw your head back or put your head in your hands and just stay there. No, it's really talking about being that assertive person, grabbing those things, going where you need to go, doing what you need to do. And if this is some of you who need to get out there and be a little bit more social, right? It's like you need to bring a little bit more value to your experiences and how you go about meeting people. So put yourself in the atmosphere where you actually can successfully meet people that you're actually going to be interested in. Stop going to the places that are not going to, harbor that caliber of people, or whatever. Just go somewhere where you'll be able to meet those people that you'll have fun with. Yeah. All right. So in your sun placement, I'm getting a lot of kings here, and all the kings are fixed. And I was just talking about all the planets being in these fixed signs. So these the fixed signs talk about not changing what's working and then allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to change the things that actually need to change. So some of us have probably been in relationships with people where we're starting to see the same patterns again that we always have seen, right? It's like there's a reason and a season usually. And I feel like sometimes when we have constant people in our lives that we know may not be the best people for us, we continue to allow them and allow ourselves to stay in something that really does need to change, right? And we may do it because they may be, these people are, on paper, they might look great, right? The King of Pentacles looks great on paper. Yeah. Right? Stability, comfort, material wealth maybe. The King of Raphael looks great on paper. Oh, he's so loving. He's so caring. He's so beautiful. But he also can be a little bit, overwhelming sometimes with his reactions. Yeah. Because of that water. Let's look at your emotions and what's going on, water signs. 9 of Gabriel. So that's the moon in Sagittarius. Okay. So this is saying that a lot of you have been like defending people in your relationships that probably don't need to be defended by you. You know what I mean? It's like they may not even care if you were defending them, because it's almost like they're not bringing that value to you, right? You defend someone that you value, yes, because you want to protect them. Right, exactly, Divine Evolution. You defend people and their ways about themselves that they're not willing to change, and you're defending them just because you know that shit isn't going to ever change. So you're giving yourself a reason to put up with it. Right? And oh, wow, I snapped and it froze. I don't know what's going on with that camera. But, sometimes, literally, yeah. So we will defend those people that we probably shouldn't be defending. Yeah. And it comes from an emotional place. It's like, oh, we love them so much and we care about them so much that we're willing to do this thing that they have no idea of. And why? Why are we doing that? I am still frozen, you guys. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Hold on. I'm still frozen. So, I'm just going to continue doing this reading. I can see you guys putting your comments in. Am I still on? Can you guys like type something? Oh, oh my God, I'm back. That was crazy. I snapped and the camera froze as soon as I snapped. I can't handle this stuff sometimes, you guys. It's a lot for me. Let me just... We're back! So yeah, stop defending those people that don't need to be defended by you. Defend yourself, baby. Okay? Because I'm sure that they're probably always on the offense. I have Uranus on my moon, so that happens a lot to me in chats. Oh, okay, right. Crazy stuff, right? All right, so let's look at your recent past. Right, exactly. This is talking about you needing to nurture yourself out of these relationships, because a lot of us have been in multiple relationships that have lasted for a really long time for whatever reason, and now it's time for us to actually make that happen with ourselves, because you're actually going to find more success creating like a lasting bond with yourself that you can understand and you can value and you can trust and you can rely on, because the recent cast shows the Queen of Ariel, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Yes, this has to do with time. This has to do with substance. This has to do with value. This has to do with like the wealth of you and yourself. This is cardinal earth. So it's thinking about Capricorn, right? And when you think about that, opposite Capricorn is Cancer. So that's sort of like giving you that mothering sensibility. Yes, you're always going to be willing to defend and take care of people who probably wouldn't do the exact same thing for you. And it's like, not that they wouldn't do those things materially, that's great, but what about when I need you and not your stuff? Right? I need your soul, which is, whoa, crazy. I need your love. What is your love? You know? I know what I can bring into a relationship and what love I have to give. But it's like, I also need to realize that I need to give myself that love and even more. Even more. It's like beyond what I can like comprehend. You know what I mean? It's like loving yourself is the most important thing that you can do for anyone. For anyone, water signs. And we know we like to love and we like to love hard water signs, but you know, we really got to do it for ourselves. We're on the same wavelength because I want someone. Yeah, exactly. Let's look at what's going on in your present here, y'all. Strength. Archangel Ariel. I'm using these cards here, but eventually I will get a love deck. But I like these Doreen Virtue Angel Power Tarot, these cards. Strength and grace through kindness, self-confidence, and forgiveness. This is talking about really having the courage to forgive yourself for all of the things and all of the time that's passed, for you to come back to the same place, the realization of knowing that you're the most important and you're first. I'm a Cancer moon at 29 degrees, 41 minutes. So it's almost at Leo, and it's just so crazy for me sometimes. Yes, strength and grace through kindness. And in this deck, it sort of switches with the Justice card, you know, like the Justice card and the Strength card sort of like are interchangeable. This is saying be gentle to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, you know, because you're going to need that sensibility to carry you through. If you were really just kind of a little irate and going crazy in the face of this, you would actually not you would be doing yourself a disservice. Yes. You'd be doing yourself a disservice. So, within all of these changes that are occurring in your relationship, and the people who might be leaving your life, just broke up with a Virgo, a Taurus, or a Capricorn. Maybe you just broke up with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We are all Cancer, Pisces, Scorpios here. Hi to all the cross watchers, but we all have a moon, you know what I mean? So, anyway. Let's look at what your immediate influence is as far as like strength goes. Okay, right. There we go. Yeah. So your present is talking about the strength to rely on yourself. And the immediate influence is the Two of Michael, which is the Two of Swords. This is the moon in Libra. This is a consideration of all things possible. You know, this is like, and because the consideration of all things possible, there's like this overanalyzation that occurs, right? It's getting lost in your thoughts and not actually being able to make a choice. Just because you might be in a very sensitive place because of the relationship or because of the breakup or because you're making these new realizations about a person that you're involved in with romantically that you can't deny. Sometimes we can't deny things that spirit shows us or tells us or things that we are inspired to sort of contemplate, you know. It's like when those things come into your head about your relationship and you consider these questions that you never thought, you were like, why am I thinking of that? That's something. That's something, right? I feel like a lot of times when, you know, they say God will drop like pebbles on your head before he drops like the brick. Whoa. Okay. I think I just had an epiphany. I think I just had a realization about something that I already knew. Right? Water signs. Because we will still attach ourselves to relationships that we know aren't good for us just because we know that we could probably love through it. It happens. In your future, you got the Three of Raphael. So these are things taking shape in the realm of, you know, feelings and emotions and, you know, just the home. It's talking about understanding why certain relationships fell apart, understanding why you had to meet those people that you met after the relationship fell apart. This could even be not realizing that the person that you always said that you didn't want to be with might actually be that person for you. I feel like a lot of us sometimes have those epiphanies, right? Sometimes we don't even want to admit to that, yeah? Because a lot of people have types and they want to be able to like imagine themselves, you know, Neptune and Pisces, in that perfect relationship with this person who does this thing for a living. And we go here every Sunday and all of these great things happen. Librans driving me insane, but you have to learn from it and move on. Exactly, you do have to learn from it and move on. Because, like, all of the relationships that you have and all of the experiences and the close encounters that you have with people, they are actually shaping us and how we view the world, right? It's like how you're learning to be very receptive, how you're learning to relate to people, how you're learning to actually exist within, like, your relationships and love the way that you want to love. I have been in relationships with people that I knew I wasn't able to love the way that I wanted to love them. Like in real time, being like, man, I'm not loving you the way I want to love you. What the fuck is that? Shouldn't you be, you should be like, yep, I'm loving you exactly the way I want to be loving you. I don't understand like how I could be in a relationship with someone and I'm not loving them the way that I know that I could. Or the way that I could, I would thrive in the relationship if I could love them the way that I wanted to love them. But why am I not? What's the blockage there? What's preventing me from loving them the way I want to love them? Is it me? Is it them? Am I in denial about something about them or and me? You got to think about those things, you guys. Like, if you're in a relationship for love and you're not loving the way you want to love, then you probably shouldn't be in that relationship. Eventually, you may not be. Let's look at your anxieties. Right? Yep. You just can't let go of the fact that you once had something that you may not have again. Because this is the Five of Raphael, this is the Five of Cups. This is the acknowledgement of something that is over, but not actually, you know, doing what makes sense when you make the realization that something is over. Yeah, you know, having your feelings rejected isn't really something that a water sign wants to experience, girl. Or boy, I don't know. I don't know, you know, what you prefer. But I've literally sat in front of people and cried to them and told them how much I love them and how I feel about them. Really letting everything out there in the open, knowing that I could even give more after all of that. And them just being like, yeah. What? I have just expressed to you parts of myself that other people wish they had but will never get. And you are making me feel like nothing. Yes, Libyans do have the answers. But the thing is that we know that that truth, because Saturn is exalted in Libra, Three of Swords, that hard truth is really going to bring about some hard feelings. And that's not what we're trying to do. So we might pussyfoot around saying something. We'll eventually get to you. Oh, thank you, Divine Evolution. We'll eventually get to you in the way that we wanted to get to you, but we had to take a little bit of care, you know, stepping around all of the things that we knew were going to probably cause the rift. So we had to be a little bit more calculated about how we did it. Now, that's not being manipulative. That's just being tactful. I love 1111. Thank you for that, Bianca. Oh, thanks, Divine Evolution. People do say that they love Libras, and then some people don't. But it's okay. When you say you don't, we'll make sure you do. So, yeah, Mercury's in retrograde, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. Putting the effort in and then not getting matched. That happens so much. But people, you know, what I've learned about men is that they really don't value like the emotional and the pure efforts of love that are put into a relationship. They get it every day, and it's like when a child gets an allowance, but they get the allowance every day. They don't get like once a month, right? And I don't really like using allowance because it's like it's still material. Because sometimes people bring things into relationships that like can't be materially like um, measured. Yeah. Anyway, everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. Right. That person that left your life, even though you may be wondering what they're doing, you wonder if they wonder what you're doing. Yes, it's hard for Scorpios to express, and this is Mars and Scorpio. So for you Scorpios out there, a lot of you have anxieties about letting go of something that was actually never going to resolve itself. Why are you holding on to that, Scorpio? Right? This is not time stamped. Watch the whole video. Yeah. It's kind of like, and Cancers out there, you're starting to see some other things take shape for you. You don't need someone else to complete you. That maybe you can do this on your own until whatever happens. You know what I mean? It's like you're starting to really like get excited, and you're really getting comfortable with the idea that you're going to be on your own and you're going to be doing it for yourself. You'll be able to make those decisions that you want to make. It doesn't matter, you know, if you like to go to bed early now, or it doesn't matter if you know every day you want to go out on that run at 5 a.m. because you can now. You don't have someone else there telling you like it's too early. Why are you making noise when you're getting up in the morning and all that kind of shit like that. You know what I mean? Um, and for the Pisces out there, I feel like you guys are starting to make these realizations of like what people actually mean to you and how you affect them. Yep, loving myself, hard cancer, no tolerance for BS, making better choices. Exactly. We got to make better choices for ourselves, water signs. You know, because like our love is very sensitive. And when people get reckless with that, we get damaged, you know, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, and maybe materially damaged. I had to do this reading today. I didn't really know what was going to come out, but it just makes me feel better when I get on and I relate to you guys and I give you a little bit of myself. You listen. Your will. Yep, look. This is what we want. This is what we're driven to. Yep, head and heart balancing. So, in our will and what's driving us, right? 10 of Raphael. Pisces, right? Sun in Pisces, looking for that satisfaction and love. Well, where's that satisfaction and love going to come from? You, right? This is a beautiful card. This is having those tender moments with yourself. This is having tender moments with other people. You know, just because you've broken up with someone and you're not looking to be in a relationship doesn't mean you can't have romantic settings with people, right? We all need that. Otherwise, how are we going to feel the love? Just threw something in there for you guys. But I think that, you know, when you allow yourself to be surrounded by love, you will feel love. And you will love in return. Oh, hi, Clea. Is it Clea or Kaya? Kaya. That's what I am craving. Yes, you are craving this, darling. It says, love and blessings fill your life. Harmonious relationships with family members, happily ever after. And you know what? I've been talking to my family recently about what I've been going through. But it's like they don't really know the full effect, right? My family lives in Atlanta and I live in New York. So it's like sometimes I just get caught up in the hustle and the bustle. And you know, things happen and there are these pivotal shifts that happen and your family doesn't really know the full scope of everything. And then they may find out later. But this is talking about, you know, you always can go back to them. And I was talking to people about this earlier this week when we're going through these really tough times as far as like the relationships that we find ourselves in and how we start to treat ourselves or how we allow other people to treat us, which determines how we allow ourselves to treat ourselves. You gotta go back to that place of balance, that place of satisfaction, which is family and it is the home, you know. And we got a lot of water cards here in this reading. Scorpio, let go of things that, you know, wasn't working for you and that were scornful. Cancer, you better start speaking good to yourself. Start telling yourself those positive things. You're telling everybody else what they need to know. You need to tell yourself what you need to know. Pisces, when you talk to your family, you need to really relate to them. We all do. You know, allow yourself to really bring value to the things that you know are bringing harmony into your life, Pisces. Yes, yes, Bianca. Oh, good. So this is the advice based on your will. Create those new opportunities. This is saying that there is hope, right? There are new truths that are happening. This is the beginning of a new situation, of a new change. Change is occurring with a lot of us water signs, yes? Let's see what this says. A wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the roads to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. So if you guys are... I would say that this has to denote to like, if some of you need to go to see a therapist or something because of this relationship, or where you find yourself post-relationship, or maybe you're in a relationship with someone that you wanted to work out, maybe going to talk to a therapist. I know it's not, cheap, but some of us have means of doing that, right? And it's about using your resources. Use those resources, right, to balance things out. If you need to go and talk to someone about, all of your emotional experiences and the things that have shaped you up until this point, you should do that, because in the future you got Mercury and Cancer. And this is also talking about, starting to develop those relationships with the right kind of people that are gonna help you cleanse and purify and get through these hard times that you might be experiencing emotionally because of your relationships. Some of you may have started to meet new people, right? And you're starting to see those relationships form and take shape. And you're starting to see how you're valuing those people within those new relationships that you might find yourself in. Yes? And some of you might be in relationships with more than one person, and it's not a heavy relationship, but now you're starting to consider actually which one of those people that you want to be around more or the most, or who provides you with this, when you hang out with them, and then who provides you with, like, those moments of, like, laughter, that type of thing. Yes, absolutely. Meditating, talking to family, um, getting rest, things like that, exercising, being more conscious about the things that you're eating. That's how you can love yourself, right? Exactly. Let's look at what your last card is. This reading has been kind of like, whoa. Um, Mercury retrograde, right? Let's look at your last card, which is going to be your outcome or advice on the outcome. Beautiful. Wow. Queen of Raphael. Queen of Cups. Right there. Receptive, understanding yourself, your feelings, your emotions, being able to share your feelings and your emotions very openly, not being ashamed of them, not being ashamed to cry, not being ashamed to hug someone for a long, long time just because you need to feel their energy. You need to be around people that love you. You need to be around people that really inspire you and that measure up to that which you need to feel, you know, your best. This card reads kind, understanding, giving, psychic, follow your heart, a love of home and family, trustworthy psychic information. All right, y'all. I guess that's me talking to y'all right now. But this is saying you know what to do, baby. You know what needs to be done. Talk to those right people. If you know there's that friend that you need to rely on, reach out to them and have a really meaningful conversation with them. It might be painful and it might hurt if you have to reveal some things about yourself that you didn't want to, but your friend may already have known. Yes, been getting those downloads. I definitely feeling and like receiving a lot of information lately, and it's pretty powerful. I love you guys. If you want to book a reading with us, feel free. Email us at providencetarot@gmail.com. We're Providence Tarot on Instagram and Facebook. Yes, you need a hug, darling. I will hug you. Um, I am at NYC Kendrick on Instagram. I'm also Kendrick NYC. And I have a food account. It's at the Tongue Pop. So follow those. Dale has accounts as well. He is at Bluest True. That's with two T's. He is also Sun, S-U-N, of Lolita. He may not want me to say that, but that's one of them you can look at. And then he also has an account that's his fitness account, Shays Dale. That's Chaise, Dale. My fitness account is mainly on the NYC Kendrick. You know, that was my first and original account. But then I got Providence Tarot as well with Dale on Instagram. So make sure you go there. We usually do weekly videos and we go around the city and take photos of wherever we are and stuff like that. So if you're interested and not bored by that, go check it out. All right, you guys, we'll be getting to you with your sign videos very soon. Sorry about that Leo season video. It was really talking about focus, which this love reading was talking about you focusing on yourself post love relationships. I love you guys and thank you for being there for us, through all of this. Bye.